And now it's 38 people's favorite podcast, The Customer's Always an Asshole. Reading your customer horror stories, here are your wine-drinking buddies, Michelle and Melissa.
Much better.
I'm wondering if it's because I was going off of an old recording. I just noticed it said October 30th. Like we were trying to record over a new recording. I don't know.
Like on a VH tape when you record over Pollyanna.
And you never forgive your father for that?
Or the 90210 wedding of David and Donna.
Or Martika singing Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers, which was her one and only hit. I actually tried to pull up...
Martika's doing now.
Well, here's the thing. I tried to pull up on Spotify, Martika Radio, because, you can pull up, like, Halsey Radio and the Weekend Radio. So
yeah,
I tried to pull
and there
up
was
Martika,
one song?
One fucking song, and the rest of it was not even shit from, like, that era. It was like
all Russian music?
Yeah, it was like a big FU. Martika had one song, and we don't know what type of Martika Radio to put together for you.
That's sad.
It was very sad.
They didn't even try.
No.
They're like, here's your Martika. Who's next?
Well, because I was thinking, like, they could have added in that song. I don't even know who sings it, and I'm not going to try to sing it. I'll just tell you the words. That song, There Goes My Blue Jean Baby Queen. Do you know what song? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They could have thrown that in there. That was the same era.
That's very specific. Maybe you should write a letter.
A strongly worded letter about Martika Radio.
Email.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well, here we are.
Well, hello. Here we are.
Hello. Tonight we'll be having a very special guest with my listeners, with my 7 listeners. Do we want to use real names just in case? We want to talk shit about old jobs, or
are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you had like some business partner in the background you were consulting with.
Yes, my lawyer is here just in case I say something. God, they'd be making money.
I mean, I think, can we use names?
Sure. Well, I'm going to call you Miss.
I mean, sure. You can use mine real name. I don't care.
Okay. Miss.
Yeah.
Miss.
Hey.
My sister-in-law, best friend, buddy.
What's up?
Also has spent some time in the customer service arena.
10 long, dreadful years.
Right. And may not mention names of department stores, restaurants, things like that, just so we don't drag any restaurants I still may frequent.
Or places we may shop.
Or that are still attached to the company I work for now.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
So,
on that note.
So my story is, and I just thought of this after the many crazy stories I've been hearing from the casino industry, is working for a big department store. Unfortunately, the bathrooms were inconveniently on the second floor in the way back. And I worked in the juniors department, which was on the first floor in the way back. So it is kind of a hall. If you're trying on clothes and, you have a problem, your child has a problem or something, you can't easily run upstairs, wearing the department store's clothes. People would gather up clothes in a big pile and shit, piss, leave used tampons, and put pads on the walls, sometimes used.
That's got to be frowned upon.
It was by me.
I mean,
so frowned upon. I was like, I ain't going in there.
I quit.
I did not quit, but this poor little lady that worked with us would always be the one to go in and gather up everything and have to like damage it out.
Oh.
She was the only responsible one. It was a bunch of high schoolers working there.
Yeah, that's what tends to happen in department stores and restaurants.
Right. And you don't remember any of your just department stores? Huh? Well, I know you worked for a bougie one, so probably none of that happened.
Yeah, nothing like that happened. I think it was more, our biggest thing was returns and how
Right.
willingly we were to return things, even things that were not from our store, even items that weren't even clothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, because you and I worked at the same mall in the same town where our department stores were on the opposite ends, but we didn't know each other.
Right.
The big story that was going around the mall was that your department store returned a mattress.
Oh, I hadn't heard that, but I did find out that one of the sister, well, I guess actually, no, it's not even a sister. It's just an extended part of the family up in Alaska did return a pair of snow tires.
Oh,
in said
which
department
this
store.
was full department store, not a Costco
We didn't-
type warehouse.
No, not even bedding.
Clothes.
I mean, not even home furnishing. It was clothes, shoes, makeup, jewelry,
perfume,
accessories.
That's it.
Yeah. No tires in sight.
No.
But apparently, and for the longest time, I thought it was just a joke. And I thought it was, it was the joke that, well, such and such store is so easy on returns. They returned a pair of snow tires. Well, and then I found out that what actually happened was, I guess a customer of said department store was driving through the parking lot and popped tires and was angry about it. So,
So what did they do? Exchange them for shoes and tape them to the rim?
They actually went to customer service and complained, and that store ended up refunding them for their tires, and they went out and bought a new set of snow tires. And I mean, I
wow, cash money.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I could only imagine how expensive snow tires are for a car. I mean, it's got to be a shit ton of money for snow tires.
That is ridiculous.
It's just stupid. And I think that is sort of because it's...
What's going on in the background?
It's kids. It's my adult children.
Gotcha.
Who are worse than 2-year-olds.
I just didn't know if we might be interrupting something.
No, just them. I've got one dancing. I've got one making noise and hopping around. You'd swear I'd had toddlers here, but I don't.
They may have some retail stories there.
I don't know if they've worked at any jobs long enough to have these stories. To be quite honest with you.
No judgment. My resume is like 15 pages long.
Yeah. Actually, mine's too. I worked there for 10 years.
Wow.
And moved on to the job that I've been at now for 15.
You know why? Because you didn't have to pick up piles of clothes with shit and piss on them.
I would have quit in a second.
Yeah.
Well,
it was difficult to go to work every day and think, who's going to shit in the fitting room now?
What kind of soiled linens will I walk upon?
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast, woohoo, with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
No, I do think that there was like people who would leave instead of like taking their kids into the restroom and using like the changing stations for diapers, they would like change it and leave dirty diapers like sitting like at like the register area and that kind of stuff. But nothing like you. I think we had a lot of shitty returns and we had a lot of theft. And we actually, speaking of theft,
yeah, part of it was me.
I actually had someone one time. Now you have to remember, that when I worked there, I was a young single mom, so I really needed my job.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't risk losing it. I had a little boy to take care of. So I had someone come in, and I had known her for a very long time. I'd known her since I think junior high, maybe. And she came in, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. And, we chatted for a few minutes or whatever, and she was grabbing her stuff, and she asked if I could help her. And at the time, I wasn't a salesperson. I was more of like a runner, and I would do like stuff like in the back room, and like we called it, dump, like you would take all the clothes out from the dressing rooms and put them back and restock, refold, all that kind of stuff. So anyways,
You didn't really put them back. You just kind of dumped them back there.
Yeah.
Waited for the next person to start their shift too.
Right. So she asked,
oh, that's what we did in our department store.
No, we actually had to put our stuff away. I mean, It was very strict, but she actually
That's why people are shitting in our fitting rooms.
Well, she asked if I would help her with her stuff to the fitting room. I'm like, sure, I'll help you,
Oh my gosh.
Choking on her wine.
This is the second time I've done this. I did this last night at the show too.
It's a liquid. It's supposed to go right down.
I think something's wrong with my upper sphincter. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, okay. So she asked if
I would help her. Right. So, and I'm like, well, I'm not a salesperson, but I'll help you. And then we can give the credit to someone, whatever. And so, long story short, she basically wanted me to help her steal. Thinking that because we had known each other. Yeah. Thinking that because we had known each other that I'd be willing to. And I didn't know it at the time, but security was already onto her. I guess it's something she had been doing for a while. And
your department store had high-end security.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they would chase people over the freeway ramp and tackle them. And, I mean, they would leave the store and chase them. So,
which is funny because somebody that's a place that's so lenient on returns.
Right.
And I did hear people would like come in, just grab something off the rack and be like, I want to return this.
They did.
Which is how they came up with the whole sticker system, probably.
Finally. I mean, it took them long.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, idiots. I mean.
But then, but the security was so tight.
Super. We actually had someone we know someone very close who worked in security. A couple of people.
Right.
And it was very it was crazy insane. But I mean, you have to steal a certain dollar amount worth, I believe, in order to actually get arrested. Yeah. I think it's like.
Over 100?
Oh yeah. I think it has to be, for them to actually press charges, I think it has to be like $500 or more. If it's under that, they can decide what they want to do. Like, maybe they'll ban you from their store or whatever, but it has to be 500 or more to press charges.
Oh, man. Was there like a little jail in the back room?
It wasn't necessarily a jail, but there was like a holding room that they would keep you in, and you couldn't, you weren't like handcuffed or anything, but they would hold you in there until the actual like police would show up. So
scary.
It is. And the thing is that like, she ruined, again, we weren't like best friends, but we were acquaintances and we had known each other. We had spent quite some time together when we were younger, and she ruined like a friendship and potentially her life. I mean, you never know like what happens to people when they go on. And we actually saw each other for the first time after that. I hadn't seen her after that. Like she knew. I mean, she saw me when she was being handcuffed by the cops, and it was really awkward for me.
Oh. And because she probably totally thought you ratted her out.
And the thing is that I didn't actually even say anything. I never verbally said anything. They just knew that, and they didn't even know that I knew who she was. They just could see on the cameras that I was assisting her in and out of the fitting room. So it's not like I even actually said anything. I didn't even say, oh yeah, I saw her take this, because I didn't see her. I just
better for
assisting.
You,
right? But it made it very awkward. And then she saw me, and we didn't talk. And then we saw each other at our 20-year class reunion, and it was a very quick hi, a hug, and that was it. And I haven't talked to her since. I just think people are stupid and they're ballsy, and they're like, you're going to ruin a friendship over wanting to steal clothes.
Right. Now I stole stuff.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But
that's all right.
but I didn't, never like involved somebody else in it, you know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't ask a friend to lose their job to help you.
Right. And it
away
would
with
always be office and school supplies from Woolworths. That's my fetish.
Well,
Post-its,
good old Woolworths.
pens, and like fun little like notebooks and fun little pens and pencils.
Like Lisa Frank stuff and Treasure
Yes.
Keeper. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glittery
Loved
pens
it.
or the pen that pen
Anything
that
with
had,
a
like,
topper.
the 4 colors on it where you could just push it
Oh,
down
they
and
still
you
make
went
it.
oh my God. While we're talking about stealing, I think what's even sadder is quite a bit at the department store. There were people who would use their kids to steal.
Oh,
And
right.
that just it takes a real special
That's a new
person,
low.
right, to bring it to a new level. But it was really sad when you would see these poor little kids like being yanked out of their strollers.
Oh, that's
and
awful.
having to sit with people in security because their mom and dad were getting arrested right in front of them.
Oh, geez. I never saw that.
It's
disgusting.
It's really sad. It's like, it's shitty.
All I took was a nail polish, okay? It was probably used.
I took a Wet n Wild raven-colored lip gloss. That was it from Walgreens. I mean...
Oh, and the endless office supplies. That's it.
Their kids were taken and had to watch, sit in a holding area and watch their mom and dad get handcuffed and whatever. And it's just, I don't know, it's sad. Way to kill a mood.
No, but that's reality.
It is.
It's so sad. And I think it was the times, because now
it's
it's impossible to do. Everything is tagged. Everything has a beep, beep, beep. You can't leave any
beep,
store. Beep, beep. Everything beeps when you walk out of the store. It's
grocery stores, because let me tell you. So one of the boys and I were grocery shopping one day, and we happened to be there when it was like the high school kids' lunch hour. I don't know about you, but on my lunch hour in high school, I was not going to Safeway to get prepackaged things of
no,
sushi,
I don't want to even.
Right?
I don't want to record what I used to do.
Right. But he, and he's 20-something years old, and he's like, oh, those 2 girls just walked out with their lunch. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, they're just stealing. He goes, that's what these kids come in here and do. They just steal. But the grocery store isn't going to take the time. What are they going to do? What are they going to do to stop them?
They should put beep, beep, beeps inside the sushi.
But then
Are they at least stealing sushi or something like worth it?
I mean,
a whole rotisserie chicken? Like, what do you take?
These 2 girls that we happened to see had deli sandwiches made. And, you can choose to pay at the counter, or you can be like, oh, I'm going to go buy other stuff. And they just walk right out.
Oh, man.
But it's just, that's what I'm saying, is like, it's not
any better.
No, it's not. And it's not impossible, but it's going to continue to happen. I don't really think that there's, I just, you see even in high-end stores, they have like sensors on them and things like this and that. And people are still getting away with it. People walk out with nice bottles of alcohol.
Right.
There's nothing stopping them. And it's almost like it's because people who work in the stores or owners or whatnot, I think they're more afraid for their safety.
Right.
And it's just not worth it to them.
Very true. Yeah.
Customers are assholes.
Customers are. And thank you for working the title in there.
I'm just saying, paying or non-paying, customers can be assholes. Customers are fucking dicks, I'm telling you. This is Melissa.
And this is Michelle. Thanks for listening.
Send your asshole stories to
AholeStories@gmail.com.
Text or leave a message at
702-551-2011. Standard rate supply. And don't forget,
don't be an asshole. Bye.